Hi, this is a video lesson for a classic tale on page 125 from your Alfred's Piano 101 Book 1 textbook. For this piece, it's in the key of F major, so just be aware that all B's will be made flat. Alright, unless you see a natural sign in it. There's actually a couple places where there is a B natural marked off in the last line, which we'll talk about in a second. The bulk of the chords that you're playing in the left hand center around the three chords that we've learned in F major from such pieces such as Michael Row the Boat Ashore and also the chord progression quiz there. So make sure that you have all your correct chords as far as the left hand is concerned. The only chords that you're going to be using are F major, F, A, C like that. And then there's also the C7 chord in measure 2. C7 chord is spelled E, B flat, C. Don't forget that middle note, the B, is made flat from the key signature. And then I think the next chord that you're going to be playing in measure 9 is the B flat major chord. Remember that one from the chord progression quiz that we did not too long ago. Measure 10 is the F major chord. And then measure 11 is the C7 chord. And then goes back to the F major chord. The only other chord that you're going to be playing that's different from those three chords, F, B flat, and C7, is in measure 15. Measure 15 has this chord. Spelled from the bottom up, it's F, G, B natural, and D. And that spells the G7 chord. It's a version of the G7 chord that we played earlier, but just in another inversion here. So it uses these four notes, F, G, B, natural, and D, played with 5, 4, 2, 1 respectively. So make sure you get used to changing from the F major chord in the previous measure to, which isn't that bad there because your fifth and fourth fingers are already over the F and the G. You just have to move your second finger probably over the B natural and then move your thumb over to the D. And then you've got the G7 chord. As far as the right hand is concerned, the right hand has a lot of F major scale-like melodies, so try to follow the fingering as best as you can. For example, they want you to start on this F with the fourth finger. Okay, so it should sound like this. And 2. Cross over with 4 like you'd normally do in the F major scale to get to the B flat. Let me play those first two measures again so you get the rhythm and also see how the fingering goes. And 2. And 2. 2. Right? And then the next line, instead of starting, measure 3, starts with the third finger on E. Alright? And you'll go 3, 2, 1, crossover with 4, 1, 2, 3. So the rhythm of measures 3 and 4 should sound like this. And 2. And 2. So always pay attention whenever they give you some finger numbers. That's usually an indication that you're going to be doing something that you might not be expecting. Okay? But here's how the second line of the right hand goes. Starts off the same way as the first. And 2. And 2. 2, 3, 4. Make note of how I'm playing those dotted quarter note, eighth note rhythms there. Remember, the dotted quarter note gets 1.5 counts. So the third line, starting from measure 9, should sound like this. And 2. Crossover with 4. And 2. And 2. 2. And 2. Here's the last line. All those B's in the last two measures are made natural because of the natural sign that you see there, okay? So when you play through the whole classic tale, you'll play all 4 lines from the very beginning, but at the end you'll see a DC al fine. DC al fine means to go back to the beginning and play up to the fine, which is at the end of the second line, alright? So I'm going to play through the whole thing hands together from the top. Listen to how the right hand and left hand rhythms match up with one another there. For example, in the first measure, notice how the eighth note, the first eighth note that you play in the right hand comes immediately after the first two chords that you play in the left hand. Okay, so this is how it all sounds when you put it all together. 1, 2, beginning, go. Third line. Back to the beginning. And that's how it's done. You might want to practice it slow first and then gradually work your way up to that tempo, but just make sure that you keep a steady tempo throughout your whole performance, okay? Good luck with that, and I'll see you later. Bye.